Hey everybody, and welcome to Shark Jump Inc. I'm Corey.
I'm Shelby.
I'm Caleb.
I'm Dallas.
And today, we liked him so much, he's going to come and join us for a little bit longer. This is Andrew. Hey guys. Today we're going to be talking about TV shows that we liked and think that you should also watch because we like them. And I think we're going to start off, we're just going to get right into it. And Shelby, you're going to start us off today.
Well, the talk of the TV town, as they say, right now.
Who says that?
Everyone.
Just a lot of people.
You don't say it?
Can you
I
quote,
personally don't say that.
can you
no.
quote them for me? Cite them, please.
Yeah.
I say it.
The talk of the TV town,
Thank you.
them, by them.
Nebulous Day.
But anyway, the talk of the TV town is obviously the Netflix show Master of None. You may have heard of it. You may not have.
You have
But
No, I honestly
That
haven't. I'm
really
interested in
surprised me.
this.
But yeah, Master of None is a pretty great show. It's a romantic comedy by Aziz Ansari, a famous stand-up, and he was also on Parks and Rec for a long time. But this is his first show post Parks and Rec. There's only 2 seasons, so it's not terribly long, and there's only 10 episodes per season. So it's nice for a binge watch for just a few days or so, or just if you don't want something terribly long, to get into something terribly long and filled with lots of different characters and stuff. But it's nice because it has a lot of twists and subverts some tropes and just has some really great characters.
You tell us the premise of the show? Like,
The first season is, actually both seasons really are about Aziz. What's his character's name again?
Dev.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Dev. His name is Dev in the series, and he's just kind of having relationship problems, falling in and out of relationships through both seasons, and his experiences with that. And sometimes there's even episodes that aren't about that; they're about his friends. And and in one particular episode, there's something completely different than that, but I won't spoil it.
Right.
But yeah, it's just a really interesting show. Check it out on Netflix. It's pretty easy to get to.
Yeah, watching that show with you, it's got a lot of like independent film and like European influences.
Yeah.
But no, that's a great recommend, Caleb.
well, one show that I really like, it's multiple shows, but specifically Arrow and the Arrow universe.
Oh, whoa,
Cheater.
whoa, whoa! You broke the mold. Our second recommendation, and you broke the format.
Well, all right, fine. Then basically,
You can do whatever you want.
I don't care. But it all started with Arrow, which is based off of the DC Comics Green Arrow, and he's just this. In the show, he was trapped on a desert island for, I want to say, 10 to 15 years, and then he eventually gets help, and like some fishermen rescue him, and he comes back, and he's learned a lot of stuff on the island. He learned how to survive. He's like just a master with a bow. He's really tough and now really strong. Because before he went to the island, he was this preppy Ivy League dropout.
Partier.
Yeah, partier. He got in trouble with paparazzis.
Because his parents are very
Yeah, he's
affluent.
from a very rich family. And so he's always like had it his way. And then,
Young Bruce Wayne.
yeah, young Bruce Wayne. He is like a funner Bruce Wayne, kind of. But anyway, he comes back and he decides, he has a book with a bunch of people that have ruined the city. And he's going to clean up his city and like take care of them however he feels necessary. And whenever I first started watching the show, I started it very late into the series, and just in the first episode, he like has this awesome moment where he gets kidnapped and some people are trying to get some information out of him. They have him zip tied to a chair, and he's like, "Whenever I got out of this, like I'm gonna kill all of you." And they're like, "Oh, you're zip tied to the chair," and then he just does this. And then proceeds to kill all of the people. And one of the guys runs away, and he's like chasing him down, like jumping over like dismantling little walls and all that. He finally grabs the dude. He has him like in a headlock, and he's like, the dude just begging for his life. Like, no. He goes, "No one can know my secret," and just breaks his neck. And then him and the friend just leave.
So not young Bruce Wayne.
Not young Bruce Wayne. But in the later seasons, he stops killing people, and like because he goes through like several different versions of the Arrow, and he has like different ways that people look at him because of that. But I really like it also because I don't, other than like Batman, I don't really care about the DC universe until I started watching Arrow and now Flash, because like I like Arrow, like saw Arrow and I was like, I really like this character. He's a really cool character. I relate to him a lot.
I like him in Injustice.
Yeah, he's
I like
awesome in
yeah.
Injustice. Like Injustice 2 also.
These are video games that we
Yeah,
usually don't
video
review.
games.
Just letting you know.
I enjoyed.
Not currently.
Yeah, not
I enjoyed seeing Arrow at SummerSlam. It was pretty cool. It was in a tag team match and he won.
All right. But anyway, then also later on, a few seasons into Arrow, they bring in Flash and like kind of establish that this is all in the same universe. They have crossover
And
episodes.
he gets his own show.
Yeah, and then Flash gets his own show, and then they also brought in DC's Legends of Tomorrow, I believe is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is that
And
what the
then-
team's called?
That's what the show is called. I don't
I
really
know.
mess up what the team
Okay.
is called.
I don't
The team
watch
has,
those shows.
yeah, I actually haven't watched DC Legends of Tomorrow either. I need to. And then they also finally brought in Supergirl as
Yeah,
well.
that's part of that universe now.
And so it's just really cool. It's really fun. I didn't love the 4th season of Arrow. It was all right.
I don't think anyone did. I don't think anyone
I don't
said
think
it was
anyone.
the best.
Yeah, no one was like, "This was the best." In my
I've
opinion,
heard pretty bad things, like pretty mean
Yeah.
things about it.
some people hated it. I didn't hate it, but there were definitely things I had problems with.
Right.
The first season or the second or third is my favorite. Probably the first because I love just like his more or less origin story.
And
It's
his
really
character
cool.
arc really develops in
Yeah,
the first,
yeah,
as much as it does in the second and third. This one kind of doubles that. Like where you can
Exactly.
see him, like in the beginning, he's like super one way, set in his
Mhm.
ways, but then he meets people and like
Yeah.
he grows as a person.
yeah. He eventually, yeah. At first, he's like, "I'm doing this all on my own," and then he eventually starts like to get a team.
Right.
Yeah. Strongly recommend it. All of the current seasons are on Netflix currently, so you can binge watch it and get ready for the next season coming up. So, yeah, definitely recommend.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get into that. My show, it's a show. Okay, it premiered in 2003. It had 3 seasons, and then it came back, and now it's coming back again. The first 3 seasons of Arrested Development are some of my favorite seasons of any TV show that I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a like hilarious comedy. Jason Bateman plays like is he the oldest? No, he's the second oldest brother
Yeah.
in like this family, and he basically like has to kind of like keep together the family after like their father goes to jail for like I think it's like tax stuff or something.
Yeah.
But over 3 seasons, that's one of the funniest shows I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The 4th season, it came back to Netflix. You could skip.
It's
the
only
4th
on
season.
Netflix, huh?
It is only on Netflix. Like it is something Netflix picked up, and
Yes.
it's you could skip the 4th season. I actually never finished the 4th season. The pacing was off and it was weird. But
Those first 3 seasons are magical.
yeah, I'm recommending that now because a 5th season might be coming soon,
Mm-hmm.
and so
I've
I
heard
think
rumors.
I think you should like kind of like catch up on that before the 5th season comes out because it's a great show that a lot of people missed.
Is that the one with There's Always Money in the Banana Stand?
There's always money in the
All
banana
right, that's
stand.
what I thought.
Yeah.
Because I've only seen parts of the show, but I do remember I was playing some game, like some app, and it was like, "There's always money at the banana stand." I was like,
Yeah.
that's weird. And then you were like, "Do you not get the reference?"
I know what app that was because
It was like,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what app it was,
Yeah.
but I remember seeing the reference.
and you explained it to me.
Right.
From the parts I've seen, it's really funny.
It is. You're gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So my show, it's an older show, as in like it's already finished in 2011, I believe. It's Friday Night Lights. It is a football show in a sense. It centers around a high school football team and their coaches and their players, but it's not only about football. It's got great story connections with all the characters, very developed characters. It's 5 seasons long. It's all on Netflix. It's a great watch, and it's not a stupid show. And I don't mean to insult anybody
Hope
when I
not.
say that, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not a dumb show.
It's smart. Like,
It
it's
is.
smart how
It
it's
is.
a smart show.
show.
Usually, a lot of the times with those kind of shows, they get a little sappy after a while.
Right,
or-
they're kind of dumb and
Yeah.
they cliche and they follow the same
Yeah.
trope. The show doesn't do that. Each season is a different season, and every character evolves. Each time the character shows up, there's a new progression with that character, and that's something I really enjoy with the show.
Mhm. Well, much like you said, how it's 5 seasons and it's all on Netflix. Mine's not 5 seasons. I just had.
I was about to say, if you're about to start talking what I thought you were talking about.
I had to make a segue somehow. I couldn't think of one. But my show is
on Netflix or something.
is an amazing comedy that.
Love me some comedies.
Yeah, I love comedies. And it's an amazing comedy that's one of my favorite shows of all time. Many people do recommend the show as their favorite show of all time. Is The Office with Steve Carell.
Yeah, the American Office.
The American Office, not the UK version.
Is there really like a big difference about it?
Yes.
Yeah, one's
Yeah.
American,
Well,
one's UK.
well-
One has many more seasons than the other.
Really? I didn't
Yeah,
know
we'll
that.
talk about that later.
The
A lot of
British
people
thing,
argue
I
that
think,
one's
is
better
better
than the
off,
other. Yeah.
Mm,
Anyways,
Yeah, so my Office, the American Office, is 9 seasons long.
that sounds right.
Yeah, very
It's
close
9
to
seasons
that.
long, and it follows a company, a paper company, kind of like
Dunder
Staples, but it's called Dunder Mifflin. It's like one small startup. It has a lot of branches around the East Coast, but it's not widespread. And it's a documentary type. They call it a mockumentary. And my favorite part about the show is that after every joke, it's awkward because there's no laugh tracks, and that makes it 10 times more fun.
Yeah, it's almost it's kind of got like this dry feel to it.
Right.
It's kind of like, wait, was that funny or not? I don't know because they're
Right.
not forcing comedy.
And the
on
main
me.
character, Michael Scott, is the manager, played by Steve Carell. And he is the most hilarious person just because of the fact
He's so
that
awkward.
the
Yeah.
cringe is there,
Mhm.
and you laugh so hard at everything he says. He said one time, it was a Christmas special, and he called his higher-ups, and he was like, excuse me, sir, do you know who I am dressed like right now? He's like, no, I'm not there, I don't know who. He's like, I'll give you a hint. My last name is Christ. I have the power of flight, and I can heal leopards. It's like, he does stuff like that, like messes up words and says stuff very confident. That's not true.
Yeah.
And it's just so cringy.
Yeah.
It's funny, and I recommend it. There's also a lot of relationships, romance, and it's between many of the characters.
Yeah.
Jimmy Bam.
Jim and Pam, Angela and Dwight.
Yeah.
They have an off and on
Angela
thing.
and Andy.
Angela, Andy. Angela just goes around.
Yeah.
It's
Jeez.
it's a lot of fun.
No, there's something like Michael Scott did in one of the episodes I caught not too long ago. It was he was trying to get somebody fired, and he was trying to plant weed, and he went out back to buy weed and paid $400 for a bag of salad.
Because they have like a warehouse below them that's like for all the shipping, and so he goes up to like one of the
You heard rumors that the warehouse
yeah, he
guys
goes up
were
to,
like the bad boys.
He was like, hey, like I know that y'all know. You're like, what are you talking about? And he's like, y'all know here. He's like, he's like, oh, all right, here you go. And he just dumps some of the salad in the bag. He's like, all right. Here
And he
you go.
hands him the bag of salad, and he thinks it's weed.
and he tried to plant it on one of his coworkers'
Yeah.
desks.
Called the police, and they found that like, what is this? And he's like, I have no idea how that.
Was
got
it
there.
some certain type of salad? It's like, what is this? The blank salad? And
Yeah.
like, it's really funny. It's really
Yeah,
funny. Really good.
it's funny.
Yeah. I don't know how many people out there he's recommending The Office to. It's a very popular show. Me personally, it's a recommend to me. I've seen the first season of The Office. I've not seen it throughout its
And the
entire
first season is definitely a pilot season.
Mhm.
It is.
It's not just
It's-
a pilot episode; it's pilot season because the whole
Yes.
format of the show is different in the later seasons. So you have to. I recommend the first season; it's really funny.
Mhm.
But march through because the second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on are
It gets better as it goes on.
Gets better
Until
and
you
better.
get to a certain point,
right.
and then it kind of declines a little bit. But the finale,
The finale is the
amazing.
best finale
It-
in television, in my opinion.
I probably agree
Ooh.
with that.
I would say that.
Ooh, yeah, man.
The ones I've seen.
No, the Parks and Recreation has a lot of the same way. All right, we're gonna go around, and we're gonna do another round real quick.
One more time, yeah.
One more time around the horn. And so Shelby, you're gonna start us off again. You got another show?
Yes, I do.
Oh, thank God! It's like you planned this or something.
I guess so. But yeah, for those of you viewers who don't like long commitments, like 9 seasons or 7 or 5 or however long, and for those who, where a lot of these recommendations have been like, oh, this season's kind of bad, or this season, it doesn't get good until this season, or whatever. This is, my recommendation is excellent because it's only 1 season, and it's just, and all the episodes.
13 episodes.
Yeah, it's only
13 reasons
wait,
why?
13 or 15.
No.
It's 13 or 15 episodes. It's something like that.
One of those.
It's 13
Not
to 15, 13 to 15 episodes, and it's only 1 season. All the episodes are pretty great. And it's Firefly. That's the name of the show. It's a
For those of you that haven't heard of it, somehow, I know Andrew said
I've
started.
never heard of Firefly.
I don't know about it.
But yeah, so I'll lay the ground rules for you. Firefly is this sci-fi western type show where it follows a group of kind of scavengers where they take jobs to keep their ship afloat, and so they travel around to different planets and doing various different jobs. The main character is Nathan Fillion, who you may know from Castle, a show that he did later. But really, Nathan Fillion's a great character in this. He plays Mal, who's the captain, and he's kind of a Han Solo type character where you like him, but he doesn't always do some great things.
Like
but
an
really-
anti-hero type.
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, really the whole cast is you'll just grow to love them. Lots of great characters. But yeah, another thing is that, like I said, it's a sci-fi and a western, in that it does do spaceships and different planets and galactic alliances and stuff like that. But it's also western because a lot of the planets are really kind of backwoods and haven't advanced too much technologically. And there's lots of different western tropes, and they use horses and regular type guns and cows and such. But yeah, there's lots of different plot lines. Each episode's pretty different, and like I said, it's just not a long commitment. And even though it's only one season, you'll grow to love the characters, just love the entire format. Oh, and also it's by Joss Whedon. He directed and wrote a lot of the episodes. Well, he created the show. And Joss Whedon, of course, is Nerd King for the Avengers and Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Right.
and all of that. So I'd seriously recommend Firefly.
Yeah, it's a great show, and it really captures that sci-fi western tone really, really well. Your second.
Yeah, I'd say, ironically, pretty close. Mine is also a sci-fi western.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say very much.
Kinda is, yeah.
My second show is Westworld, which was created by, it's on HBO. It's only one season also.
But we're getting them.
Yeah, so we're getting another
More
one
coming,
eventually.
more
on the way.
Firefly didn't have that.
Yeah,
chance.
Firefly did not. They did get a movie spinoff, didn't they?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
That one's good. You should watch that after the TV show.
Yeah.
But Westworld, I love it. The first season, one of the things I really love about it is, well, let me start with the premise of it. It's basically, it's kind of like an amusement park where people can go and just literally do whatever they want.
It's a real life video game.
Yeah, it's a real life video game because all the people in the amusement park are robots except for the real people.
The guests.
The guests, as they call them.
And the robots are called hosts.
Yeah, the robots are hosts and the guests are called guests. And the guests can just do whatever they want. They can just go and sightsee and do little quests and stuff, or they can just kill and have sex with anything they want to. They can literally just do anything they want. The only thing is the hosts are not they physically cannot hurt the guests. I don't know, they have something where if they shoot a gun, it's disappears. But the guests can do whatever they want to the hosts. And then for the show, what I really like about it is there's this mystery because stuff starts going wrong in the park, and there's this character that you hear about, but you don't meet Arnold, as this is what they call him.
Right.
And it's really cool because it at the end there's so many moments where I just have my hand on my mouth whoa, wait, that just
and
happened?
It's one of those shows, if you go back and watch it a second time, you can
can
see every puzzle piece they put in there. So if someone did piece it together, which it's really hard to, if they did piece it together, they could easily figure it out watching it the second time. Because you notice more things.
Yeah, it's a very mysterious show that it's fun to figure out what's going on while it's progressing during that first rewatch. That's a great recommend.
Yeah.
My second one is this little show. I'm going to go back to Shelby with a little show that didn't really have a chance. It did make 2 seasons, but it's a beautiful little show called Gallivant. Came on ABC for 2 seasons.
It's pretty funny.
It's a hilarious, just musical show. It follows Gallivant and through basically this adventure trying to
Medieval times.
Yeah, in medieval times. Not at medieval times, but in medieval times. Yeah, trying to win his woman back from a king that took his woman. That's the first season. And then his woman doesn't want him. So, like, he tries to prove himself to her. That's during the first season. Then the second season kind of goes in a different direction. And, but no, it's a hilarious show, even when they're not singing. But when the songs come up, the songs are expertly written, and they're hilarious. And it's just a huge recommend for me, maybe just to get some more eyeballs on that show. I mean, I know it doesn't have a chance anymore, but I just think people should check it out.
And it's easy to access because it's also on Netflix.
Pretty much all of this is on Netflix.
Yeah.
Except Firefly. That one's on Amazon.
All right, so show number 2. I know the guys are gonna laugh at me with this one, but it's kind of a girly show, if you would say.
Oh, there's no such thing as girly shows. There's just shows.
It's Riverdale.
You watch Riverdale?
I love Riverdale. All right, so right now it's got 1 season out. It's on Netflix.
Pretty recent. Huh?
It's actually very
Is
recent.
it the last 2 months it came out?
I think it gave one on Netflix.
It just recently
Yeah.
finished, yeah.
Yeah, but it's pretty great. Season 2 comes out in October. It's going to be on the CW.
Oh, you know the date. You sound like a CW promoter.
It's my bad.
2 CW
It's
shows.
not like it's like October 7th or
October
something.
7th, 2017.
But,
Riverdale comes back for season 2.
It's pretty great. The characters are very interesting and easy to like sink your teeth into and get invested into. It's
I thought the same thing, but we had just backed on Dallas this entire time, so I wasn't even saying anything.
but it relates to Caleb's. It's kind of like a mystery where it sets it up from the beginning. Somebody gets murdered, and they're like, it freaks the town out, and everybody turns against each other, except a few people, and they try to band together to clear their names and find out who's killing who. And at the end of it, it happens again, and then
Whoa.
well, I mean, somebody dies at the end, and it sets up the second season
I
for.
feel spoiled.
I'm sorry. You need to go watch it.
Maybe.
But
It's a girl show.
I don't care. It was really addicting to me. I started it and finished it in a day and a half, and there's 13 seasons. I mean, whoa!
He thought of 13 reasons
Whoa!
why, and it said 13 seasons.
It's got 13 episodes.
Say,
My
Dallas, What do you
bad.
do with your life? You've been
But once you start each episode, you want to just keep watching to find out what happens. So if you've got a spare day and a half and you just want to sit down and binge a show,
Spare
I highly recommend
36
this one.
hours. No. That's a good recommend. I'll probably check it out.
Right. Even a better recommend, because it's not a girl show.
Probably.
Oh, my bad.
You're probably right.
Is considered one of the greatest shows of all time.
The Wire?
No, not The Wire.
Jeez.
Breaking
You
Bad.
just took his knees out from under him.
Breaking Bad is my show, my second show.
Yeah.
Which is an absolute amazing, hands down show. And each season, in my opinion, it gets better and better, especially towards the end. It's like a logarithmic type effect where it multiplies on its previous episode.
Math words.
Math words. And so the first season and a half is a real slow crawl. It's really, really, really setting in those characters so you know what they are, know what their drives, and know what their visions are, so they can just completely change those. Because it really has great exposition and great plot. I'll tell you about the premise real quick. The premise is a guy, his name is Walter White, and
I hope you guys know about this
Yeah.
show already.
this is for the people that don't. This is for the few fans that have not seen the show.
Right.
But his name is Walter White, and he's a school teacher, chemistry teacher, and he gets lung cancer.
Yep.
And I was imagining
checking
where
out.
the cancer was. I didn't know where it was.
Everything's checking out. You're good so far.
It's lung cancer, and he has no money because he's a school teacher. Doesn't have much money coming in, and his wife does like one company's taxes, so she doesn't have that much money coming in either, and they can't afford his treatments. And he knows he's probably going to die because he's pretty far into it. He's like, I want to leave something behind for my family to survive off of.
So what does he do, Andrew?
He makes crystal meth.
Okay.
And he sells it.
The viable
Yeah.
option.
Right.
The option that most of us would go to.
And then you sell meth.
Yeah.
Right. But because he's a chemistry teacher, he
knows-
has
Yeah.
all this knowledge of chemistry, which that's kind of a plot hole.
He makes this quality meth.
He makes the meth
Blue
is,
meth, right?
was it 97, 98% pure? So it's so pure that it turns blue. So his stuff is called the blue stuff,
Ooh.
and it goes around the street, so you know which one's his.
I bet it's
Sounds
expensive
after.
too.
Makes me want to try meth.
And he gets all of the Southwest hooked on it, and so he just basically emerges into this meth empire. And it sounds pretty cool, but there's also some serious, sad moments in it. There's some funny moments. In the first episode, someone throws a pizza on the roof and it stays there the whole. You just like see the house and there's a pizza on the roof. But it's a really, really good show because it does mix those dramatic and comedic and those very, very tense moments together. And I think that's all the time we have. So I'm going to give it back to our tried and true host, Corey. And,
When was I elected host? No.
Oh, I mean, you're the producer, the director,
Producer slash producer.
That's
not
a
our
great.
thing.
Oh no, Star-Lord's gone.
It always happens.
No, that's a great recommend, and I don't know if you've seen Better Call Saul, but I've heard that's got
Yeah.
that.
I also heard that. I have not
I've
seen
heard
that.
I've heard great things about that. But that is all the time we have for today. So we're gonna have a video out later this week.
Right.
Wish I could advertise it.
And our last video.
We don't know what it is yet. We
Our
haven't
last,
decided.
our last video was Dunkirk. I hope you all like that one.
That we had a Dunkirk review uploaded Friday. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. I don't know. I'm gonna point right now and I'm gonna be like, subscribe. Maybe we can put it up there. And then that Dunkirk video is gonna be right here.
Right.
I hope that works out. I don't know. I didn't plan that.
We'll try it. We'll see.